Anime reviews. I know I missed like 2 weeks. I've been busy. Give me a break. The reason why is school, but now it's over. I'm gonna try my best to do them properly every week now until the next semester. So, like I was just saying, welcome back to my anime reviews. Basically every week, at least I try. Every week I'll try to watch an anime or rewatch an anime and then review it for you guys. Of course, I've said before, like anime like Bleach, One Piece, Fairy Tail, and such will probably not be reviewed as they would take way too long for me to review the stories or watch the stories and then rewatch them and have to review them all. The reason why I did the original Naruto is because I was able to rewatch them because I was just rewatching them for fun back then. But let's get back to the main point. A few months ago, I had decided to review the first Persona 3 movie, and since the second movie finally came out on Netflix, even though the first one ain't on there, I guess it's a good time as any to review this one. This week's review is Persona 3 the movie, Midsummer Knights Dream. I know it's a weird movie to review during the Christmas-ish time because usually I do themed kind of reviews, but I thought I like this movie, and I was like, you know what, it doesn't even matter, it's a movie, so you can just watch it over the Christmas time. You don't even have to watch like a whole series. So yeah, let's get to it. It's a cliche as hell name, but we'll go with it. This movie is about an hour and 33 minutes long, so it's not bad. Like usual, I'll only be explaining the most important parts of the anime, like the characters, stories, settings, relationships, voice acting, animation, music, and the genre. And we always start with the genre here. It's going to be a supernatural, action, science fiction, fantasy, anime movie. No difference from the last one. Now for the setting. Before I start talking a little bit about the setting, because it's basically the same, I'm not going to go over too much about the setting. So I'm just going to say, if you want to check out the review of the first movie, go check it out over here. I reviewed it, and I talked a lot about the setting there, and about a bunch of other stuff that I'm not going to be talking about in this review, as it would basically be me repeating myself. So I'm just going to state again that this world, they live in basically Japan, but there's something called shadows that only show up during the dark hour, an hour between, I think it is midnight and 12:01, that only certain people can view it, I guess you could say. And then some people have the ability to summon a persona, their other self, to fight these shadows. And there's this thing called the Tartarus, which is a giant building that they're climbing to find out what the secret of the dark hour is, because it's so weird that it just makes sense to search it. I'm going to stop there, but if you want to know more about it, first just go check out the other review, because for fuck's sake, I'm not doing it again. Now for the characters. The main characters for this film are basically the same, but secondary characters from the first film become more important in this movie. So I'll be talking about all the characters that have significance in this film, as well as leaving things out so I don't spoil things to keep things fresh. This section is very long, so you can skip over here. I don't suggest you stay here for too long, because legitimately it's really fucking long, so I don't know what to say. First is Makoto Yuki. He is our main protagonist and the definition of I don't give a single fuck. He literally doesn't care about anything like life or death because his parents died when he was very young, so he never really got attached to people at that point. He's an easygoing, open person who many people think is very cool and mysterious. He acts as the leader when traveling through the dark hour in Tartarus. Second is Yukari Takeba. She is the hottest Persona girl. The hottest. She is the super popular girl of her school and has a lot of friends and isn't one of those popular girls who hates people for no reason. She's pretty nice to everyone except for Junpei because he deserves it most of the time. Third is Junpei Iori, a rather upbeat classmate of the others and is always making jokes because he hates being serious at any time. He's kinda stupid as he runs into situations without even thinking about the consequences or how it may affect others around him. Fourth is Fuka Yamagishi, a rather shy girl who's younger but goes to the same high school as the others. Since she has a quiet and gentle personality, coupled with her weak-looking appearance, she's rather bullied a lot. Fifth is Akihiko Sanada, a senior in the high school all the students attend, and is impulsive and thinks anything can be dealt with his fists. He has a dark past but wants to move on no matter what for the people in his path. Sixth is Mitsuru Kirijo, the heir of the Kirijo group, and a hot-as-fuck one at that. She is very serious and isn't used to acting normally in front of others, as she's used to being serious all the time. 7th is Kenemata. He's just a kid, and his life is a nightmare. His mom's dead, never had a dad, and hates being treated like a kid even though he literally is one. 8th is Shinjiro Aragaki. He acts like a dick, but he's actually a pretty nice guy and knows a lot about stuff like cooking and just household related things. He doesn't get along with people and does things his own way. 9th is Aigis. She's hot. Let's not talk about her for the spoiler reasons, so let's just move on. 10th is Koromaru. He's a dog. A dog with some sort of sense of justice, we assume, since, well, he's a dog and he can't talk. 11th is a group known as Strega. They are focused on keeping the Dark Hour the way it is, as for the reason they use it is for illegal job stuff like killing people off or dealing with bullies and shit. So they make money this way. Now for the story. For the main starting of the story, watch my review of the first movie, like I said, as I'm not going to cover too much of it. For this film, it's basically the characters meeting up with a few new group members, the main antagonists getting shown off, a few more main shadows get their asses kicked, and some dark as fuck story stuff happens. I'm going to stop there due to spoilers. Now for the animations. They were amazing. They felt like how I would think a Persona movie would look like. Nothing else to talk about there. Now for the voice actors. They were still great, and the new characters had amazing voice actors too. Nothing really bad to say. I mean, I'm a bigger fan of the English voice actors because I played the games in English, but I mean, I'll deal with it. Now for the music. I loved the music for this movie. The opening theme was just amazing, and the soundtrack was just overall amazing. I'm a large fan of the Persona soundtracks, so they can do me no wrong. Now for the rating part of these reviews. As a rating, I will split it up into 5 different categories. The voice acting, animation, story, characters, and overall enjoyability, and we always start here with voice acting. 20 out of 20. I am no longer salty about the voice actors being Japanese and not the English ones. I do much enjoy the English ones more, because at that point I would only play the English games because, like, I've played them in English. Why would I need to play them in Japanese? It'd just be confusing at that point. But at this point I understand that they are fantastic at what they do, and they are memorable as hell, so my deal. Animations. 20 out of 20. They are still fantastic. Amazing. Awesome. Beautiful. Just as awesome as the last film, and just like how I had imagined a Persona 3 movie would look like, as if it was animated. And it was great. Story, 20 out of 20. After the last film, I kind of expected them to botch this one, considering sequels are never really the best. But they proved me wrong. This movie accurately represents the story of the Persona 3 game, with minor changes to fit the big screen, as I accept them all, and I cried a lot, just like I did during the game. They do change a few plot points, but it's so that there is something to make the film more like a movie overall, and I liked it way better than the game threw it out. Characters, 15 out of 20. Yeah, so I loved the characters, but the biggest reason I love them is because of the Persona 3 games. They add nothing new other than a few stuff that does blow your mind later in the movie, but that's about it. I mean, Koromaru had his own little section in the film, and it was completely pointless, as if he wasn't even an important character or related to the story at all. But this stuff around Shinjiro, Akihiko, and Ken are done way better in this film than they were in the game. But character-wise, I only really liked the few main characters and a little bit of the side characters, as the side characters weren't really that relevant to this film. Enjoyability, 20 out of 20. I loved this movie to the core. It was so much fun to watch from the start all the way to the dark as hell finish that leaves you wanting more, considering they start to develop a character who doesn't have any development in the game, is because you are the one developing him, and it feels nice to see how the director interpreted the main character in his own point of view. I loved watching it. Overall score, 95 out of 100, 95%. Steamy and dark, just the way I like it. An A grade for this anime. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the description, there should be a link to watch it free on Chia Anime, as well as Netflix, and somewhere to purchase it will be a link down as well, as it is totally worth it. Thank you guys for watching. Scott Filmworks may be out. See you guys next time.